Well, welcome everyone to the Mailbox Power Builders Mastermind call. This call is for affiliates, but this is not just about building your Mailbox Power business. It's how to use Mailbox Power to grow whatever business it is that you have in conjunction with Mailbox Power, and how to share Mailbox Power with other business owners so that you can offset your marketing costs or create another stream of income, and eventually, if you choose, to replace it. But it's about the skills required more to share it with others, because I think the challenge that most people, and I had it in my head too, it doesn't matter whether it's network marketing, direct sales, affiliate marketing, the minute you can share a good movie, you can share a great restaurant, why can't we share a great tool that we're using in our business? It's a mindset thing. And what mindset has been the key the last few weeks. It's a mindset thing that the minute we're asking for their money to come to us, which, oh, by the way, it doesn't, it goes to Mailbox Power, and Mailbox Power in turn pays us. But there's something about the minute you're involved and you're getting a commission or money out of it that we like freeze. And many of us, even on this call, have been in businesses or industries where I know Nanette has worked on projects that are millions of dollars, and she's had to ask for funding for millions of dollars. So why do we freeze? Let's talk about that today. Again, on the mindset topic. And the first thing I'd like to do, though, before we do that, is I want to hear any wins you had the last week. And Lulu better shout out her win. You're muted.
Fudge. I am now a super affiliate. So happy. And yes, thank you so much for that.
Congratulations.
Helping me get there. I really appreciate it.
No worries. I am super excited for you. And we want to have lots of people that we get to celebrate getting to that super affiliate level. So that's a huge accomplishment. And I see great things in your future, especially this year. So
thank you.
Congratulations
on it. Thank you so much.
Any other wins? Nanette?
I had a couple that are still just kind of generating and building. So first of all, I got a referral from my defense contractor. I know. It's just like, so I'm meeting with this new guy on Thursday, and he's also a defense contractor. More to follow. So we'll see what happens. And then I had another at my networking event that I go to on Wednesday that I've been going to for a year. One of the primary guys reached out to me and he said, we need to talk. He's currently with our competitor. And he said, I want to support you. And we spent a good hour today talking about, he does two businesses. One is carpet cleaning and the other is restorations after floods, that sort of thing, cleanup. And so I went in going, we're going to talk about the executive level. And because he's got two businesses, etc., I said, it's just going to be so much easier to manage that way. And I didn't even pull out my cell phone to look at the screen to show him Mailbox Power until we'd been talking for half an hour. And it was about brainstorming how we can use the different tools that Mailbox Power has for his company. It was straight about that. He never blinked at the price. And he said, I've got to go back. I need to brainstorm with my admin assistant. So she's going to be running this. And so I said, based on the conversations we've been having in this group, I said, look, I will meet with you guys once or twice for about an hour at a piece. But you see this little bell at the top? This is your way to get more help and attention. So I'm not in the middle of all of this, and you guys are on autopilot. So I'll teach them how to get started and turn them loose. But
Awesome.
I'm waiting for notification from, I probably need to go to the system and look, that he's signed up, but not yet. But we just met this morning, so more to follow.
So I want to, congratulations, huge wins. And I am eager to hear more about the defense contractor. And because I've been trying to break into that market here in Colorado Springs, as you know, both of us have. So eager to talk with you one-on-one about that. But you said something at the very end, Nanette, and I have learned the hard way. Do not give them your link and expect them to sign up. You end the conversation with, when can I follow up with you? Don't give them the link. Or what name, which business would you like the account in? And let's get you started today.
Okay, that's a better way to close.
Because it 99, well, maybe not 99, a good 95% of the time, if I give the link, it ain't happening.
Well, and life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they have the best intentions. So if I was going to be seeing him tomorrow, which is our normal meeting date, and I can't because I've got to be on the other side of town, I think I will give him a call Thursday and say, let's get you signed up. Just give me the information and I'll get you started and going.
And if so this is what I would do, is if he's like, well, but I'm still need to meet with my assistant and I'm not sure yet because I want to make sure he or she can, is okay with taking on these responsibilities. One, he's the boss, so he assigns the responsibilities. But two, if that's a concern, say, you know what? I can set you up on a 14-day trial so that we can get all of your contacts in. Your assistant can play with it. Your assistant can go to a training, and before the trial is up, we will make sure that you are on the executive account so that you get all the benefits. But that way, if any, I wouldn't offer that unless he pushes back.
Right. Okay. Good point.
When
Very
people
good point.
push back, that's when I might offer a trial, because they seem 90% there, but we haven't gotten them quite far enough, or they're concerned about time to set it up. And so I'll give you 2 weeks to get the account set up so that you're not charged anything until we're ready to roll. And if we get it up and your assistant gets it running right away, we can upgrade you to the executive in 2 or 3 days, but that way you have the flexibility and the leeway to have 2 weeks to get it set up.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other wins this week? Awesome. Well, those are amazing wins. So now back to the mindset, and asking for the sale, asking another business. And I don't even like saying asking for the sale, because it's an amazing system. And even if you weren't getting paid, would you recommend it? We don't get paid for Canva. Well, I guess there is ways to get paid for Canva, but how many tools are we using in our business? It might be QuickBooks, it might be Excel, it might be Google Sheets. How many times do we recommend a tool to a business, another business owner? Yet why do we stop and freeze and ask for somebody to sign up and use this tool?
That's the mystery. Because I think we're thinking about ourselves and not them. I find.
I think you just hit the nail on the head, Lulu, is we need to switch the conversation. We've had that discussion the last few weeks, actually the last few months, is when the focus is on them and helping them grow and all about helping them succeed, then it takes it off of us, which I think then is probably when the mental shift happened for Mike and I, that it was much easier to say, shall we get you started today? Versus before, when it was more about, oh, I got to pay the bills and how am I going to, when you're worried about money, it's really hard to shift and make it about the other person. That's why, go ahead.
The bottom line is the worst they can say is either no or not now.
Right.
Okay, if it's not now, no problem. Let's reconvene in a couple weeks, or when do you think we should reconvene?
Yeah.
And no is still not now.
Yeah, in most cases.
Because it's a lot of this has to do with timing of when do they need it, what have they been thinking about, and when does the offer come through or the ask. So it's not about you necessarily. It's the same thing with a job interview. Timing may not be right for the offer. It took me 10 years to sign up to be a Mary Kay rep. Okay. However, it took the consultant, she only mentioned it like once or twice in that 10 years. Oh, you could get this for a discount, for a 50% discount, whatever. And I went to another meeting. I'd moved in the meantime. The new girl mentioned it. The timing was right at that point because I was no longer on active duty in the military. So I had free time. Oh, the other girl that I've been with for 10 years was livid, but it was her failure to keep following up.
So that's key. I want everybody to hear what Nanette just said. It's about following up, and it's about asking. Even if you know the answer is probably no right now, you can always flip it as, instead of asking them, who do you know? When we were talking, who popped into your brain that really needs to see this or have this tool for their business? It takes the pressure off them, and they don't feel like they're saying no. Now they're just passing on a referral, which people love to do.
Right.
People love to refer. People love to buy. But if you don't ask.
If you don't ask, the answer is no.
Exactly. Because Nanette was a perfect example. She didn't ask, she might have asked once in the 10 years. So her answer was always no, because it wasn't forefront of Nanette's mind during those 10 years. But the minute she found somebody else who followed up and asked her multiple times, now it was time to sign up, and that person was the one rewarded. So think about that. Marie.
I just like to try to bring in whatever the discussion was about, whatever they said they were wanting to do, whether it is, get their foot in the door for some very targeted prospects or increased customer retention, whatever it was their key motivator. I like to ask and bring that into the question. So rather than say, shall we get you started today? I would encourage you to think about saying something like, are you ready to get increasing that retention, your customer retention started right now? Try to bring in whatever it is that their motivator is in that question.
I love that. Rephrasing, you can say, I think I heard you say this. Is that right? And that's their opportunity to say, oh, no, I really meant this. And if it is right, would you like to get started solving that problem?
Yes.
I love it. Thank you, Marie.
Yeah. Yes.
Kevin.
Yeah. Two very important things in business. In business, people are always concerned about expenses. So if you get away the fact that this isn't an expense, it's an investment, and the return on the investment. What's an average customer worth to you? You're a real estate customer. Come on, a greeting card for $1, $2, for $1,000, $10,000 in commissions, referrals, a hair salon, nail salon, $50, $100 a deal, car dealer, hundreds, thousands of dollars in commissions. So the other thing too is to prepare a prototype card of whatever industry they're into and send it to them unexpectedly and say, it's a beauty salon, it's a nail salon, present this card, get a 50% off, get a free set, buy one hand, get one free, something, ask about that offer, whatever it is. And then at the top you say, this is used by thousands of businesses, and for $1 a card, it's just like you got it nicely sealed in an envelope. Call me at your convenience. I'll plan to call you in 7 days. The urgency, call me the minute you get this to learn more about it. They see you're dealing with an intangible. When you're dealing with the expense side, it's money going out as far as they're concerned, they can't relate. But the personalized approach, and the big thing is it's chump change, as I mentioned, I had a special automotive segment that I sent out 8 test cards. I said, I'll call you in 8 to 10 days. 5 of them called back within 4 days and said, how much for 500 or 1,000 greeting cards, so they're looking just one car sale alone, $1,500 profit, easily. So that's a good thing to kind of keep in mind. And then I'll give you a test drive how this works. When they see how simple it can be, then you get people and then ask for referrals. That's the important thing. If they don't see the light right there, the odds are somebody else is going to,
Yeah, there's I haven't been able to do it but a few times because I'm not quite as bold as some other salespeople that have trained me. But when they say no, well, may I ask you who your competition is? Because I'm sure they would love this.
Yeah.
I'm not that bold, but there are some salespeople, and we've had training that, and every once in a while, I wish I could do that, and I'm getting there. But yeah, those are all great points, Kevin. And again, we talk about, and we have talked about on this call about it's not an expense, it's an investment. And when you talk to them, the key I like to say is our goal is always for you to be making more money than it costs for you to use this system. So there is no cost. It is an income generating machine for you, whether they're an affiliate or not, doesn't matter. They're making money in what car sales, carpet, salon, whatever it is. If they send out and spend $1,000, but they get $3,000 in sales, They made $2,000 profit. It's like handing you $1,000 bill and you turn it
Yeah.
around and giving them 3,000 back.
I should mention, it could be, well, the higher the ticket item, the better off you are too. You know, if it's a banquet hall, if it's a golf course, if it's golf course with a banquet hall, if it's a car dealership, you know, if it's anything there, if it's a Chinese nail salon or whatever, $50 a set versus something that's 500, 1,000 or more. Now the odds are, again, these industries, you could look up their specific name and the Google's going to do the work for you. They're going to kick up a dozen other competitor businesses. Hey, what about these guys? What about these guys, you know?
Yeah.
And the job's half done. And then
Awesome.
when you get on the phone with your customer, your prospect, and say, does it make sense? You know, I was checking some stuff on the internet. Now, you know, do you view this guy as a competition? Do you this in their face already? You want to be polite, but it's the bottom line is most businesses, when I approached them, you know, did a walkthrough, I said golf courses, banquet halls, sent them a card, come on in, sat down, boom, they signed up, got their sales there, catering manager in on the deal and all that, you know. Then it's getting the creativity pump running, you know, where they're constantly running things, golf outings, you know, banquet halls, bereavement, funeral parties, graduation parties, anniversaries, everything under the sun. Celebrate the COVID's on the way out, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing now, is because so many people have suffered through COVID here. I'll tell you, in Michigan, we have 3,000 restaurants that never opened again because the lockdown, the lockdown that the governor set in. And the big thing now, if people don't realize it, there's a thing called the ERC, the Employee Retention Credit.
Yeah.
And it's count them, $1 trillion the federal government is throwing out. It's under the IRS. It's all very detailed, but they will allocate a CPA firm, I know guys that are pumping it for CPA firms. They will give up to $26,000 credit.
Yeah. And Kevin, this call isn't about ERC. So,
but no, but the resource is they've got money to be used for anything, for patios. And so
just to circle back to where we were though.
Yeah.
You know, you did make a couple of points, and it really is about mindset. It's about understanding that it's not an expense. This is an investment in your business. And if you understand it's an investment in your business, you will get a return. So thank you for that. And
Andrea.
Thank you. I'm going back to when you were talking about getting those no's, and you may have heard it through some of the B&I trainings, that when I get a no, I say, awesome. You know, it's not for everyone. Who would you use if you didn't do what you do, whatever, whether it's, let's say, a plumber. If you didn't do what you do, who would you use as your plumber?
Oh, I like that language.
It takes that, it's a softer than using that competition word.
Yeah.
But it makes them think. And so I wanted to throw that out, because when you're talking about any of these businesses that say no, and you're saying that, you know, well, maybe your competition will want to do it, find out who they would use if they didn't do it. And that's just more of my passiveness that creates or that is keeping me from doing what I know I need to do.
I was going to say,
thank you.
One other thing that I just thought of as you were saying that, Andrea, is not if you weren't doing this, because that's great. I love that. I've never heard that. But the other thing is, if you were too busy and somebody called you and you were 4 or 5 weeks out, who would you refer or who would you recommend them to?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Instead of if you weren't in this business, because so many times business owners can't think, but they're like, but I am in this business, you know? Whereas if you said, if you were so busy, if you had so much business and somebody needed something right away or next week and you were 4 weeks out, who would you refer them to?
I love that.
And that just came to mind as Andrea was talking about that.
And I'm writing that down.
Yeah, that brings it full circle. I
Yeah,
like that a lot.
It does. It does. Oh, Gail went off camera. And I know Mary looks like she's making dinner. Any other ideas? I know there's Mary. Are you making dinner, Mary?
Yes, I have my headset on so I can hear everything, but
Yay.
I'm here with the kids by myself this week, so it's a little bit crazy. But I did want to say, back to what you guys were talking about in the beginning about kind of being like, it seems like a lot of times as salespeople, we get a little bit self-conscious about asking for the sale because it's for us. And I definitely experienced that just the last couple of days because 2 different friends of mine have other direct sales businesses that I really love, and I wanted to order some stuff from them, but they didn't have an open party. And that's usually what I do. I usually just say, hey, do you have an open party? Let me order from it real quick and help out whoever's doing it, right? And when they told me they didn't have an open party, I was like, well, I'd hate for it to just be a random order and it doesn't help anyone. So I had them set up a party for me, and then I started messaging my friends and saying, hey, it's just tonight and tomorrow. Like, if you want to order, that's cool. If not, and it really worked. But I realized I was okay with asking because I didn't feel like it was for me. And
Yep.
so it's perfect that you say that tonight, because now I'm loving all of this great information about how to sort of change the language a little bit and not be afraid to say it's okay. Like, what's that post I always see, like people mentioning about why is it okay to support like the big Walmart
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatever, but you're not going to support somebody that's just trying to put, dinner on the table for their kids or soccer shoes on their feet. It's kind of the same thing. Like, why are we afraid of that when it's perfectly okay? There's billions of people in the world, and there's just a small little piece that we're asking them to help support us. So I love this conversation tonight. Thank you.
And I love what you said. And yes, it could be about supporting you, but I want to flip it. Because it's not about necessarily supporting you, it's supporting another local small business, and it's helping them to grow. So again, taking the language off, I love what Mary said. And we do. There's so many direct sales companies and you like their products and you're like, oh, who can I help out? I need to order something. Does somebody have a party open? And we do that all the time. Why would we feel any different about sharing Mailbox Power with a business, and it's about, it is about supporting a local business like you as a family and a business, but it's also about them growing and you sharing a tool that's going to benefit them. So I think when we can get back to that, and it's all about the person on the other side of the camera or the other side of the desk or whatever it is, that everything changes. Kevin.
She had touched on the point, big business eating the small person alive. It's amazing in Michigan. We've got very wealthy suburbs, downtown shopping districts, Birmingham, Michigan, if you know about it, real old Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Well, what's there is in November, American Express has a huge, I don't know if it's global, but it's certainly national campaign that it's shop local. It's shop local. It's help. It's all about helping that mom and pop outfit that's got the brick and mortar that's button heads against Amazon and Lord knows everything else, Amazon and all these other huge, entities. I'm amazed that they see these and, you know, these mats on all the places that I go around the holiday shopping season stuff. They've got these up that beware, you know, and the chambers of commerce push that effort and all that. And this is kind of our way of getting the word out, as American Express, the big boys, American Express in particular will do, you know, by way of their mats or signage, one kind of thing or other, you know.
Yeah.
They probably got all sorts of booklets, resources that they give to Chamber of Commerce to say, make this thing float, you know, for your local businesses. Get that word out that it is all about shopping local.
Yep. Well, and you know, you made a point too that American Express advertised shop local, and I've noticed recently, I hadn't noticed it prior, but I've noticed recently some big mega brands advertising through direct mail. And if a small business says, I'm not sure if it'll work, well, if Walmart's not going to invest in something that doesn't work. Xerox, you know, I think Xerox, Kodak, they're not really around anymore because those are the places I grew up. But, you know, like Target and the bigger FedEx and the UPS stores, and if they're doing it, it works. The big restaurants, the big chain restaurants that are all across the US, Burger King, McDonald's, if they're doing direct mail, they're doing it because it works. And as a small business, we have a very affordable tool that lets us do what the big guys do for a fraction of the cost and take a corner of the market share in your local area.
And that's what
So
yeah.
think about that.
I like to stress that to my potential customers, like you're going to be able to compete on that level for like ridiculously low amount of money.
Yeah.
But you know, I have learned too recently, going back to the expense thing, if a business doesn't have a marketing budget, they're going to see this as an expense if they haven't planned for it. And I'm learning that I don't push them aside, but I don't push it on them. I keep in touch and start planting that seed in their head that, you know, think about what your marketing budget is. And then let's talk some more. But if they don't see it as an investment, even if they do it, they're not going to last typically. Yep. So it gives us an opportunity to think bigger. Still, you know, we want all the customers. We want to help as many people as we can, but we really should be focusing on the companies and businesses that actually have thought about a marketing budget, because they're going to see this as like, oh my God, it's like.
So that goes back to a discussion I had yesterday with marketing agencies, digital marketing agencies, website marketing agencies.
Yeah.
I was talking to a digital marketing agency yesterday, and their minimum spend for the most part is $300, but it's $500 to $1,000. And he said, my customers need what you offer, and they won't blink at $199 because they're used to spending way more. And so partnering with find marketing agencies in your area, they definitely need to have an abundance mindset, because I've run into lots where they think we're competition and we're not. We're an asset to them because we help convert the sale, not just get them in the door, which keeps the customer spending money with the digital marketing agency. So you can work hand in hand, and they generally have customers that have marketing budgets, and they understand that it takes money to make money, and they're already doing marketing. So think of those type of companies. So I love that, Lulu. Just another idea for some of you. If you haven't, if you know a digital marketing person, you might want to go talk to them. And it might be a great partnership, because obviously we don't do digital marketing. So when somebody needs help with digital marketing and you hear that in a conversation, oh, well, great. I've got somebody that can help you with that. We partner together. You were looking stuff.
I was just looking at, we've been listening to Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets. And there's just some information in there. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend it. He talks about sales, and that sales isn't something that happens by accident. It's something that really happens based on your inner mental game and whether or not you're going to be successful. It says selling isn't an accident. Failure is not an accident either. Sales are the spark plug in the engine of free enterprise. Selling success is mental and has more to do with what is happening inside your mind, not what is happening because of external forces. Learn to unlock your inner potential. And he says that the 7 keys to sales success are prospecting, building rapport, identifying needs, presenting, answering objections or answering questions, closing the sale, and getting resales and referrals. So there's a process there that you have to kind of go through. And I think a lot of us came from a background where we were afraid of we're selling. It was more, we're sharing. And I think the minute you accept that you're not sharing, but you're actually selling, and it's not so much about the sale, it's about the service. If you're providing a service and you're providing value to the customer, they're going to see that value if you present it correctly and use the proper language and just have them understand what it is that they're going to benefit because of using the tool that you're presenting to them. So really a lot of that is really in our own heads and how we present and how we project what we feel. And I think for a lot of us, we were of the mindset at one point that, $49, the previous price for Mailbox Power was a lot of money. $149 was a lot of money. Well, we've come to realize that
It's not,
not.
not
There's,
at all.
the value is there even at $79 and at $199. And the sooner we accept that and the sooner we project that value, I think it's going to be a whole lot easier to make those sales when they see the confidence you have in the product you're selling. And that's what it all boils down to.
So I have a question for each one of you, and you don't have to answer this out loud. But have you ever paid for a training and gone to a training event, and within an hour or 2 hours or within a half a day, you're like, oh my God, this was the best value. This is worth way more than I paid for this training. I see Lulu nodding her head, and Marie and Gail. That's what Mailbox Power is. We see it as the cost that we've known all along. But think about when you've sat in trainings and you're like, oh my God, this was a steal. That's what Mailbox Power is as a marketing tool for businesses. And the minute you shift your mindset and understand that, everything, I can promise you, everything will change.
So true.
So we are about out of time. I know Kathy came in late. I don't know if Kathy had any wins she wanted to share in the last week, or any ideas on the whole mindset thing, and then we'll go over to Marie. Kathy?
just want to say that, yeah, sorry I was late. I was on another call.
You're fine.
I think that too many people, when they start Mailbox Power, think, oh, $49 for 50 cards. They think about these free cards, and it's not, it's like so more than the free cards. And everybody just thinks, oh, $199 for 200 cards. Is that worth it? But we have a whole list of features that they get along with their membership, not just free cards. The free cards are the icing on the cake. And I think, we need to change the mindset there, that the system is what's going to build their business, not the free cards. Like,
Wow.
100% agree. And I think it was Marie that her big customer recently that she just acquired, she said when they asked, what do you get for the $199, she said the system. It's sort of like a gym membership. It's like a Sam's or a Costco membership. You get access to the system, and what you do with it is up to you. If you never go shop at Costco or Sam's, you still pay for the membership.
Right.
and I know that, so many affiliates out there are just, not you guys, but there's a lot of affiliates out there, and all they're doing is saying you can get free cards, so sign up. Like, that's not where we're headed. That's not the kind of affiliates we want. So
Exactly.
yeah, we got to change the mindset of everybody out there.
Thank you, Kathy. Marie.
Michael was mentioning Russell Bronson's training, so I just thought I'd mention, I just put it in the chat. Josh Braun is somebody I've been following, and I love him. He focuses primarily, his specialty is prospecting, cold calling, and cold emails. And one of the things that he said is, most of us who have read all the books, been to all the sales training, we've learned to overcome objections. And so when someone says something, our just immediate reaction is to overcome whatever they said, which makes us sound like a salesperson and puts them, a barrier between us and them. And he says, if you can quit, you can shift from explaining to illuminating. You're going to be a lot better off. He says that, I took some screenshots of some of what he said today. Like if someone says, I think you were saying, Brenda, someone says, I don't know, direct mail, I'm just not sure that would work. Rather than going into, well, if it works for American Express and Walmart and this and that, again, it makes them kind of feel like there's a barrier here. But if instead you said something like, seems like you have a reason for saying that. Tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're getting some information from them. They feel like they're being heard.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to begin to have an emotional connection with this conversation. And you're going to get a whole lot farther along that way than if they were just seeing you as a salesperson overcoming objections. So anyway, you might want to check him out. I really, really am inspired by a lot of what I hear him saying.
Awesome. Thank you.
And Marie, is that a book? Is that a podcast? How would we?
Well, go to YouTube and, look for, he's got a lot of stuff on YouTube. I don't remember how I found him. He has this little book I just got. I don't like the title of it, but it's great content, called Snakes Struggling with Sales. And, so I don't know how, so I'm on his email list. I'll forward an email to you guys.
Okay.
I'm on his email list, and I think it was yesterday or the day before, he said he was going to be speaking today. And if anybody wanted to know about it, click this link. And so I did, and he was speaking. It was an online presentation, but it was for a university in Alberta, Canada. And it was an hour long. It was tremendous bits of information. And they sent the recording to anyone who was there. but you couldn't just get the recording, and I don't even know how I could get it out to anybody. But because I was on it, I have the recording. So anyway, check him out on YouTube, and I'll send you, Michael and Brenda, I'll forward to you the email that he sends out. I don't know if it's every week, and it's really short, but just really good examples of, a bad example and how you could turn it around. I really
Awesome.
like.
I just started following him on LinkedIn, so he's
Awesome.
there. So
I-
I'm sure he'll have some snippets there.
And
Awesome.
I love that, Marie, and thank you for the reminder, because I've heard that before. Tell me more about that.
Mhm.
Why, and it's a good reminder for me, because I do tend to get in that overcoming objections mode. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
so he
really-
gives an example. Let me just tell you this real quick. About property managers. He gives an example of two property managers. One gets the call first, and the person says, do you have a pool in your complex? We absolutely do. And he starts talking about how fantastic the pool is. And the person says, please stop. Thank you very much for the info. We're not interested in a place with a pool, and hangs up. And so picks up the phone, calls the other property manager. She says, do you have a pool at your complex? And she says, we do have a pool. And tell me, it sounds like you have a reason for asking that. And the woman says, yeah. She says, I'm really not interested in a place with a pool because I have a 2-year-old, and I'm just deathly afraid of the child, getting into the pool. She said, I totally understand your concern. I have a 2-year-old as well. And that's exactly why we live here, because the pool is fenced, and she talks about how it's fenced off, and then, how they have the cover on it. And she got the person as the tenant. So we assume that we know why people are asking, and we don't.
Yep. I love that.
Wow, that's
yeah.
good.
Kathy.
Yeah, if it's okay, I also want to share a book that a friend of mine wrote just a couple of months ago. And this book, it's called Selling from Your Comfort Zone, because a lot of people, they don't want to go out of their comfort zone. There's a billion people that think, oh, I can't be an affiliate. I can't do this, because they always want you to go out of your comfort zone, and they want to do this, and I can't do that. Well, guess what? There is Stacy, my friend Stacy, wrote this book on how to build your business within your own comfort zone. It is a brilliant book, and I just want to share it because I'm hoping to get it into the Mailbox Power store.
Awesome. Would you
Yes.
put it in the chat?
I
So
can
that
put it in the
everybody-
chat. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get it on Amazon and stuff, but it's a really good thing to have. Goes against what so many people say about getting out of your comfort zone. But this book covers the rest that just can't do that. So I'll put it in there. Selling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Mary.
Comfort zone.
While we're sharing books, I wanted to share one that I found that I really have been, it was really helpful to me to really see some of the things that I already kind of knew from other trainings and stuff, but it just was said in a way that I really understood it a little bit better. So maybe to help somebody, it's by Paul Walmsley. I'll put it in the chat. It's From Hello to Yes in 3 minutes or less.
Say
And
that again?
basically, From Hello to Yes in 3 minutes or less.
Cool.
And it was one of my suggested readings from Amazon, because obviously I'm in that genre. So what I really liked about it is because it gives you a very clear plan of how to overcome your call reluctance when you're in sales and you're having to use the phone for sales, and just having that plan of this is the yes I'm going for, whether it's just yes I'll look at your video, yes I'll go to the training, whatever it is, have that plan already set. This is what the yes is you're going for. It doesn't have to be yes I'm signing up right now. It could just be yes I want some more information, and sort of break it down a little bit for those people that feel and for me, because I like to talk, how to keep the call very short.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing all of those books. And if you ever have any books that you want to share, please feel free. We all can learn. We all need to be growing and learning every single day, and books are one way. Or if there's a podcast that you watch that has truly helped you to shift your mindset or help you in your business, we'd love to hear those on this call. And we just appreciate each and every one of you showing up every week. We would love to grow this call. So we would love to see you invite 1 or 2 people. Actually, why not invite 5? And 1 might show up. Because we all know, even if they aren't our affiliates, this is a pretty tight-knit community, and we all know many other affiliates in Mailbox Power as a friend or whatever. And let's try to get the word out, because the more people we have here, the better the mastermind and the more we can learn from everyone. Because we definitely learn from all of you. I took away some really good nuggets this week. So
Just real quick before we let you go, we had the mastermind call last Monday, and I think it was a little better attended than tonight's call. Would Monday night be better for any or all of you?
I'm good with Monday.
I see a few people shaking their head, definitely no.
Okay.
And I think we may put out a poll just to see if there's a better night. Because I know not Andrea Manning, but Andrea Shepherd now can't make Tuesday nights because of another commitment, but we'll put a poll out to see. But Tuesdays work for us. We just wanted to make sure that we pick a night that we can get the best attendance, and every night is going to have some people that can't attend, so we're never going to please everybody. So how about invite 5 people and see how big we can get this next Tuesday, and we'll go from there. How does that sound?
Good.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to hearing all of your wins next week. And look forward to seeing all of you then and learning from all of you. So have an absolutely fantastic week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. And thanks for the tacos, Mike.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.